If you believe the Bible and really look into it, you will see Damascus was destroyed. It's already happened. It is a prevalent belief in major Christian circles, and the belief is so strong that people are waiting for it to happen, and have been waiting for quite a few years, and declare it is going to happen. The belief they have is not based on the Bible. We are looking at the book of Amos, from which they gather wrong ideas. And we want them corrected, because this is vital. Everybody's in the USA anyway, just about, considers Russia their enemy because they're waiting for her to come down and destroy Damascus. It's affecting the national and political view of the people, what these Christians are saying when it is not true. And we're going to point out that how it is not true. I am going to the work of scholars for this. I have preached about it before, forget what I preached, but I'm going to the work of scholars because they set it out, and it is this. Less than 10 years before the period that Amos mentions, it was struck by Assyria for the first time. Now there's a leader called Tiglath-Pileser III in 737 BC, and he notes in his annals how the Assyrians sent exiles out of the 10 tribes of Israel. There are the royal archives of Nineveh. In 732 BC, the kingdom of Damascus lost its indigenous people. There is a scholar called Dubovsky of Slovenia, and he recounts the history of Tiglath-Pileser III and so on. He recounts the history, and the history absolutely fits in to what is stated in 2 Kings 15 and 16, 2 Chronicles 17 to 20. I can't understand my writing there. After 3 years concerning Israel, 725 to 728, there was great devastation in Israel, except Judah and Jerusalem. Now UNESCO, we all know what UNESCO is, had a report, that again in 720 BC, Sargon II defeated them twice, and it was by the Assyrians. The Israelites were conquered by Nebuchadnezzar, 600 BC. And then we note that there's a connection to Persia, 530 BC, and so forth. In Isaiah 17, verse 4, it is declared Damascus ceased to be a city and would become a heap, verses 1 to 3. So in Amos chapter 1, verses 3 to 5, the Lord speaks against the wickedness of Damascus and says he will not spare her. He will send a fire into the house of Hazael. He says he will break the bar of Damascus and cut off the inhabitants, and the sceptre from the house of Edom, and the people of Syria shall go into captivity. And he goes on in those chapters and speaks about other matters. We need to look at the facts in relation to Jeroboam, king. In Isaiah 17 verse 3, talking about Damascus, the fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, that's Israel, and the kingdom from Damascus. And the remnant of Syria, they shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Lord. So there you have Ephraim, Israel, Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. And of course it was due to captivity and departure. Tiglath-Pileser said he destroyed 591 cities. Damascus also. So you need to look at Isaiah 7 verse 8 and 2 Kings 16. If you believe the Bible and really look into it, you will see Damascus was destroyed. It's already happened. You could look at Isaiah 7, Isaiah 17, and so Syria and Damascus and Israel were destroyed. The king of Judah said to Tiglath-Pileser, if you go up and destroy Damascus, I'll give you some money. And that's what he did. And you should read it in Isaiah 7, 8, 17 and 2 Kings 16. The scripture about Damascus, that it would be destroyed, was totally fulfilled if you look at those verses and if you look at history. You don't need to go to history. You should just read the Bible properly. Well, of course, laymen find it hard many times, and I was a layperson at one stage. I couldn't get into that. But the pastor should be able to, the Bible school students, and the seminarians should. Why are they teaching error and allowing error in their churches? So please disregard all these evil remarks and lies that you see on the media in relation to Russia. So we need to discard all the evil things that are being said about Russia, because in fact she has gone down to save Damascus from the enemy, if you read the news thoroughly, and if you look at the correct news and do not follow the fake news that is often on the screens. Can I just mention this? It's an amazing thing that for about 2 or 3 weeks Fox News America has been telling the truth about corruption and pedophilia and evil in high places. So we need to know the truth of these things that we hear from the pulpits, from the Bible schools, from the seminaries, from our fellow believers, and make sure they know what they're talking about and are speaking the truth. The Lord bless you. The king of Judah said to Tiglath-Pileser, if you go up and destroy Damascus, I'll give you some money. And that's what he did.